All right, we're now in the basement workshop. We're gonna make a fidget slider. So what times would I do when I get this so close? I like to make sure that I'm able to utilize getting it closer, really. And the easiest way to do that is while the miter box is still off, put it up to the blade, pull it up, leave it off still, but now I turn it on. It pulls off just enough so you can still see the pencils there, meaning that I got it close enough, got that fine-tune adjustment. Alrighty, we've now made our notes on where our magnet's going to go approximately. That way we can make sure that when this slides back and forth, it'll be pulled to the very end, no matter how we slide it. So this is good. Alrighty, so now that we're to this stage, again, we're going to utilize our measurement from before, already at the same width of our magnet. And that way, as we draw this on, I'm going to use that square to help determine where the center is. And that center is important because we want to make sure that as we are drilling in, this is a Forstner bit. This Forstner bit is going to be perfect. It's the exact diameter of our magnets. And so this way we can drill in just a smidge and we'll be able to make the magnets fit. But of course, we want to make sure our center point is all lined up so we're all good to go. We'll get going on it. So the nice thing about this pencil is that you can sharpen it, but it also has a really thick lead stem so that it is less likely to break. You know, high boom, but I think that's just some Chinese brand. There's other pencils like this. They all do great things. We now have our two pieces, our slider and our bottom. They're ready to go for a magnet. Alrighty, so as we're here, we're going to start drilling in. We want to make sure that we don't go we're not going all the way through. But even so, with how small our pieces are and the fact that there are these holes, we're still going to put a piece of dummy wood as a buffer, just to make sure that we are safe and not going through an accident. Terrific, we're ready for the next step. Okay. Make sure our outs are out. Okay, awesome. Get one clamp on, verify it's not pulling to the center. Okay. Alrighty, so while that's gluing, we're going to go ahead and glue our magnets on this guy. I made sure that our magnets are facing the right way, meaning that it would be very unfortunate if we put a magnet in a way that made it work against where it was supposed to slide. Okay, awesome. Now, the stain I plan on using for this is a natural stain, meaning that you're not going to see. Let me put it this way. If we decided, you know what, that is not going to work for us, because one thing I forgot to think about was the fact that although I had done a good job on cutting these and gluing them and whatnot, you can already see it's off center, which means this is a waste of my time. Okay, got some sawdust. We just need to soak that glue up. Same thing there. Same thing here. All right, so we now are dried enough that we can sand this and make sure this is all nice and flush. Same thing here. Oh, so we are good to go. All right, the belt sander does a lot of good things, but ironically, for the portions that the sander was going against the grain, we got some scratched wood that we want to make sure we're taking care of. So we just want to make sure that we, as we sand with, that we're just sanding just on the wood and not all the way over, because then we'd be fixing this problem of the sanding going against, creating the scratches and making more over here. So we want to make sure that as we sand, that we're only sanding with the direction. All right, and again, as we're sanding here, our focus is just to take off the edges, those sharp corners, and also as we do so, just making sure we go with the grain. That way it can help minimize any additional scratching and really help to finish things out so it's ready to go for the stain. This is looking pretty done. Although, for the sake of continuity, we're going to let that clamp. And while that's clamping, I'm going to go find some stain. The inside of the box. I'm going to use that by using our popsicle stick, just going to all the corners. And that way, once we have this in all the corners, we'll come back over with the cloth and get everything all pinned up. Now, I know I could have sanded off these burn marks, but I actually kind of like it. It makes me feel like it has more character. So I'm still having problems with the corners, like these corners, so I'm going to go and get something to help fix that. Alrighty, so I got a popsicle stick and just on the belt center, just made it into a point, and that way we can almost use this in a very basic way, but our goal is just to make sure we have consistent, even spread application of our stain. Alrighty. Now that we have all the stain on, wiping off the excess will ensure it's all good to go. Alrighty, all finished. My fidget slider looks great. Slides like I like.